Needs to try and finish well here, Lutho Sipamla.
And he does. But he won't be happy with that over. 10 from it, as you said. 38 for 1.
And that's where he's been successful, isn't he? That's where he's bowled the amount of dot balls throughout the spell. Is he's just pitched outside off stump, he's pitched the ball up. And the 2 boundaries that's been scored was one on the leg side, which Finch just put away quite comfortably with a quick outfield. And the second one was a short delivery, an error. 2 errors by Lutho Sipamla.
So this one is crucial just to round out the over. And he does it nicely. 38 for 1.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League, 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
The UEFA Euro 2020. Live on the Sony Sports Network.
Smith and Finch. And he's played nicely so far. And because of that length that the South Africans have bowled, the ball has just nipped around. So 38 for 1 in the power rate power play.
And that is really good work. South Africa could not expect any better than that. Here comes the debutante.
Yeah, Daryn Dupavillon plays for the Dolphins as a friend. The franchise, good numbers those. Just under 5 runs to the over.
In the air for some distance.
There'll be nerves. I actually remember him, Mike, is a couple of years ago as an 18-year-old, slightly airborne, but fortunate enough, Stephen Smith is short of the fielder. He played here at the Kayamajola Cricket Week under 18 week and actually made the South African school side. So now, a couple of years later, debut for South Africa in Potchefstroom.
What a big day for him. A little bit of width and that's hammered away. That's something that Smith dines out on.
Now there'll be some nerves. He'll be trying to get his radio as quickly as possible. But he's been positive. Stephen Smith, and that's bread and butter.
It's one of the facts of life, I'm afraid. I mean, a debutant comes into a game, and if he happens to be a bowler who bowls with a bit of pace, and already he's hitting pretty close to the 140 mark. That was 137.5 k's per hour. They will look to try and unsettle him a little bit. That's nicely bowled.
He struggled with injuries as well a couple of seasons ago, sort of left out of the Dolphin side and went to sort of work on his action because of his injuries. Very sharp. Slightly front on, but can bowl really quickly once he gets his radar going.
Yeah, there'll be nerves at the moment. Strings a couple of good deliveries together, that'll bring some nice confidence. Sweeper as well, will help his cause, bit of protection. Run rate has gone a fraction over the 4 mark. And that is absolutely fine. I mean, this start from South Africa today has been brilliant. The track is absolutely fine. The bat on. Quinton Kock won the toss and decided to have a bit of a bowl first. Oh, that's a beauty. It's gone past the outside edge. Beautifully bowled. A little bit of movement. Now, Finch just letting his partner know that went away a fraction.
Yeah, the expectation also with just look at his action, you'll probably feel that the ball will just angle into the right-hander, but that one just straightens a touch. And just a couple of deliveries that you just need to get out of your system, just to get those nerves going again, get that energy in the right direction. And if you can get that as quickly as possible, that's a huge plus for you, because then you can just focus on what you need to do as a bowler.
Wasn't that short. Looking to pounce on that, but couldn't do so. It's a promising first over. 43 for 1. Mayday, 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 that's the area. That's going to be nice and festive later. Student Town, they're going to fire up right there. I think this is going to be wonderful later on this ground. Certainly packed them in. It's got a wonderful buzz about it. Just before the comp just when spent a little bit of time outside. It's just got a really nice feel about it, nice buzz about it. Everyone's expectant. Yeah, South Africa have won this series, but they do want to make it 3-0. Phehlukwayo now. Remember, he's just 24 years of age. Did beautifully in the last game.
Yeah, it's been very good. In the last 2 ODIs that they've played, Shamsi has missed out because the birth of his daughter. Average of 30, 5.5 runs to the over. But the role that he's played, especially when South Africa's been under pressure. Spoke about the first power plays. Australians had a wonderful start, but it's been the middle period in the last 10 that have been good for South Africa. And he's played a huge role in making sure that the Australians don't get away from the South African side.
Shuffle across from Smith. Phehlukwayo has struck here. Now, The batsmen are talking. What is the result of the chat? That's the important thing. Finch says, go upstairs. Now, he's deep in his crease. He often plays that way. He was shuffling across, there's no doubt. I don't think there's any question of height. Is it missing leg stump? That's the bottom line. But let's not forget it was given out.
Yeah, the front foot is perfect. Andile Phehlukwayo, and that's the danger, isn't it? The fact that he's so deep in his crease, and this hits him in the back leg. No, it doesn't. It's the front leg. But it just needs to clip. Just needs to clip the stumps. All triage will indicate that it's missed the bat.
Yep, so there's a couple of ticks. But we need more than that. This is the big one. Is it clipping? Is it missing? Oh, it's clipping. That is a massive wicket. Really is. Phehlukwayo had a big shout for that one. He was supported by the umpire. And Smith is on his way again. An Australian batsman threatens to get going. Doesn't carry on.
Yeah, wonderful start this by Andile Phehlukwayo. Picks up the big wicket of Steven Smith. He's gone for 20. Australia now 43 for 2.
Impression है जमाना तो short goal लगाना. Clear short goal. दियो हुआ पुराना short goal का है जमाना.
The UEFA Euro 2020. Live on the Sony Sports Network.
Knows how huge that wicket is. Steven Smith is a dangerous player. You look at this Australian side. It's Warner, Finch and Smith.
Marnus Labuschagne now. Very familiar with this area. Born in Klerksdorp, not too far away from Potchefstroom. Told me before the start of play when I interviewed him, and he's got 50-odd relatives that are here to watch him today. Must have a big family, goodness me. So they'll be excited if he happens to get going, which is something he hasn't done so far, I'm afraid. And that's been a bit of a bonus for South Africa, because again, he's a wonderful player. I mean, 1,105 runs in the calendar year last year, the highest test run scorer. Scored 90% of his runs in the tests after August, which is quite ridiculous. Here we go. Loud scream of waiting. He's a very busy cricketer. That's how he goes about his game. That's how he gets himself going.
Yeah, another look at the wicket of Steven Smith. Look how deep he is in the crease, though, and that's what makes decision a little bit easier for the umpire, even though it clips the stumps, but it's where it hits him. Further forward, well, it misses the stumps and the impact.
Wide called. Yeah, that shuffle of his is the trigger movement is certainly interesting. It just goes way back, and then it straddles the crease and hit on the crease. There's a couple of happy guys. That's something we haven't seen too much of, basically, that unorthodox leave that he has. For those of you who over the years have seen Courtney Walsh leave deliveries, he adopted a similar technique. Courtney will be delighted to be grouped with Marnus Labuschagne. Hello, Courtney, if you're watching. This is going to be interesting. 12 overs gone, 44 for 2, and what a huge wicket in that over.
Coming up on My 11 Circle,
It's time for Park T20 League, 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
England Tour of Sri Lanka, first test. Thursday, 19th March, 10 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 6.
Righto, this run rate has now dropped a little bit. Now it's just a shade under 3.7. That's what happens when wickets fall. Oh, it's short and wide, but he's got the sweep up. Right, so he's got that first over out of his system. The one that we can just put down to a bit of nerves and maybe a little bit of anxiousness. It's time for him to settle in a little bit and try and make a difference on his debut. One of the areas that Australia always feel they can make a difference is their running between the wickets. Now, Warner's gone, now Smith is gone. They're two of those, the big runners between the wickets who certainly turn normal ones into twos. Finch also has done that, and we saw him do that with Warner in the last game. But they're just a little bit behind the 8 ball today with that, with a couple of their star runners back in the pavilion.
And also, if you sort of look at the run rate at the moment as well, Hayes, is you sort of see the South African field is a little bit much more tighter now to sort of stop those easy ones. And normally when they just get away from the South African side, they just hang a touch because of the boundary mode that they're in. Not to be today because the 2 wickets have fallen. That one of Warner and also Stephen Smith. Look at David Miller covered very tight.
Beautiful fielding. Not even a run. That is outstanding. Now there's a glare from the captain. Finch was not happy with that at all.
Yeah, because of a slight fumble, but what a piece of fielding this by David Miller. He spoke about how tight he is to try and stop the one, and he just cuts the angle, which allows him to get to the ball because the angle is not as big. Now he's just saying, listen, that's my call. He actually punched it a little bit towards the gap. And Heinrich Klaasen at backward point had to do the fielding.
Loud scream of no that time. Nicely bowled, 2 from it only, 46 for 2.
not for 21. He went in his last over, he went for 10 runs. Just shows you what great work he did with that new ball.
Just a bit of a change in the stance now from Labuschagne. He's gone well out of his crease. He'll still shuffle a bit. That's crisply hit. That's going to go for 4. That's beautifully played. That's a fine stroke.
Yeah, that's what makes it so lovely to bat here at Sandbass Park. Because once you just beat the inner ring, the ball just races away to the boundary. And a little bit too straight this time. Normally you'll have somebody on that square boundary, Andile Phehlukwayo, but he's trying to stop the one. And just left of Verreynne, and it races away.
Right, Vic, what does Phehlukwayo do now with Labuschagne standing all over his crease?
I just think he just needs to sort of make an adjustment though. Is he just trying to bowl the ball just outside off stump? That's the field that suggests that he needs to bowl outside off stump. They don't want just a touch straight. The length is crucial.
Yeah, change the length just a fraction. Toy with the idea, I guess, of asking Quinton or Kock to stand up with the stumps and think about that. I wouldn't do that right now.
What you also don't, what he actually needs to do, especially on good wickets, everyone just nibs back. It's a good line by Andile Phehlukwayo with that angle. Is don't mind square leg there, might be looking to save the one, but drop him back. Because if the batsman is out of his crease, occasionally just throw in the bounce and sort of let him try and take it on. Normally bowls with good variation. He's got a very good bounce, Andile Phehlukwayo.
It's nicely bowled. Yeah, I think he started so well. I think he's got to stick with what he's doing, stick to his knitting. Don't change too much. Don't do any alteration to his pace. His pace has consistently been the 130 mark since he's started operating.
Yeah, and the length that he bowled, that last delivery was a good one. Just get Quinton or Kock to catch a couple of balls by bowling the right length. Make sure that you keep on asking the right questions.
Leg side again. Finch is back to his conventional stance. So basically there's an alteration required between Labuschagne and Finch. So this is the plan from the Australians, is to try and upset. It's basically a doff of the cap to Phehlukwayo, saying that he's clearly a danger bowler. And they want to try and unsettle him. They realise how well he bowled in the last game. Already picked up Smith. Nothing there.
And I think normally when batsmen get out of their crease, it's their length, isn't it? They're trying to cover the length that he's bowling. And if he's not aware that he's standing outside the crease, that's why backward point, if somebody's at square leg, is crucial to sort of just let him know that he just needs to make a small adjustment by making sure that he bowls the right length. What he's trying to do is trying to get it on the full, and if he's not aware of it, that's when the half volley comes in. But apart from the fact that he's going for a 4 the first delivery.
Again, sweeper, just the one. Interesting stuff right now. 14 overs gone, 53 for 2.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League, 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
England Tour of Sri Lanka, first test. Thursday, 19th March, 10 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 6.
astonishing record by South Africa against Australia. Shot the stumps. He was safely back anyway, so it didn't matter too much. Again, a look at the records. The last 12 one-day internationals. Just the one. November 2018 in Adelaide, Australia won by 7 runs. All the others won by South Africa. But importantly also, if you look at the victories from South Africa, they are big victories. 6 wickets, 140 runs, large numbers of runs. That's impressive. That's really impressive. Really good work. The fielding, I think, has been outstanding so far today. This time it's Heinrich Klaasen, who's scrambling across just in front of square on the offside. Superb. It's going to make the fielding coach nice and happy. In the commentary box now, it's going to be Makari and also Pommy Mbangwa.
Thank you, Michael. Yeah, I reckon the fielding just takes its cue from the bowling, and the bowling today has been really good. Good lengths, nice lines, a tight start from South Africa, and that's why Australia are going at less than 4 runs to the over. In this series, whether you're talking 2020s or one-day internationals, it's unheard of. And so because there's a certain ability you get to anticipate when guys are bowling well, the field can be closer, you can stop singles, you cut down the angles as well. It just gets the team going.
And even that, for me, I think, Justin on tongue, he knows exactly what he needed to do. And one of those things as well, that you know where the singles were taken. He takes that and says, I needed you to be here. This is what you're going to do for the team. Look how, David Miller and Klaasen, look at that. Fantastic.
And for 9, Daryn Dupavillon, he'll still be nervous, he'll kind of be settling, but all of it will be nervous energy as he gets his first game in international cricket. He'd dream about stuff like this, and for him particularly, who's had so many injuries and lost a contract, and I'm just talking franchise contract, has played semi-pro cricket as well, just kept plugging along. And this season's been going well for the Dolphins. Here he is for South Africa. Oh, has he got him? He has. There's number 1. What about that?
For me, best wicket. Whoa! Who doesn't need it? Look at him. I wish I was him. Not just walking through someone who just get a catch. You should be running, big guy. It's your favorite wicket. He's still looking at it. And Finch is still standing.
Yeah, they've just gone upstairs to make sure of it. David Miller claimed the catch. It's not a simple catch. It was a tough one because you see him here, bottom of your screen, bottom right, and he's creeping in. Is stalking like a hunting lion, and he's got the catch too. It's gone straight in. See, talk about the fielding, talk about the bowling as well, how good it's been. You can be that close rather than hanging on the circle because the ball's going and disappearing to all parts. It then gives you chances as well, and David Miller has done brilliantly to hold on to this one and give to Dupavillon his first one-day international wicket.
That's a Tupac catch. Voila! David Miller. You remember we talk about what his job is on the field. That's it. One of them. Well taken. Good camera work.
It's Nigel Long, who is third umpire, TV umpire, and he's just looking to make sure that those fingers stay under that ball. Confirmation of the decision will come on the big screen. A good cheer as well. The cheer was already done pretty much because Finch made his way off the ground as that was being done, getting signals from the change room. Good work by South Africa. Australia's captain gone for 22. It's 55 for 3.
Israel Adesanya.
He is as sophisticated a striker as we've ever seen inside the octagon. Yoel Romero, he is a real freak of nature.
My name is Jhye. Remember me?
You want to yell Jake Shack?
That is a scary woman.
This bad blood is about as real as it gets.
Watch PSG versus Dortmund, Thursday, 12th March, 12:30 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 10-1.
The UEFA Champions League is brought to you by Heineken and Pepsi Black. UEFA Champions League sponsors.
England Tour of Sri Lanka, first test. Thursday, 19th March, 10 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 6.
As a bowler, आपका काम है wicket छिटकाना. पापा ने मुझे इवनिंग को हॉकी स्टिक ला के दे दी, तो मैंने वहाँ पे जाके भी क्रिकेट ही खेलना स्टार्ट कर दिया.
बिंदास.
I used to just love batting. Bowling तो पसंद नहीं थी. कौन इतना मक्के आएगा ना?
और थोड़ी सी बदमाश. The story of our stories. Color Me Blue, a special series on our cricketing heroes starting this Women's Day. Watch Harmanpreet Kaur tomorrow, 8 p.m. on Sony 6 and Sony 10-3.
Darcy Short is in at 5. Australia limping along here. They're going at 3.67. And yes, you might look at it and say, oh, perhaps the ball's just nipped about a little bit. But essentially, it's been how South Africa have bowled. Good lengths, good lines, given precious little away. 69 is best. Darcy Short. They need that and more from him today. For Australia to put up a good score here. Nicely played. Another look at the wicket. It's a top catch and a special wicket.
Yes, man, for me. Look at that. Finch might have thought it bounced in front of David Miller. David Miller says, no, boy, I've got you. You need to go straight in and stayed in. Well taken. What a debutant. Wow. Super duper.
What a feeling. Thinking too that time, couldn't get it. Him again. You call him Super Duper?
Yes. You know the song that say, what a feeling. That should be his song from now on. Yeah. Beautiful. Nice. Nice taken. David Miller. And Justin Ontong on another end, he'll be saying, I told you so.
There'd be a couple of happy people in the change room. A couple on the field, of course. That's Dupavillon and David Miller. But Ontong, as I say, but also Charles Lagerfeld hitting good lengths there. Let them try and drive you off a good length, and they'll be in trouble. And by and large, that's been the story today.
Now that on its own, if you look at how, you know, the Australian has gone with things. That's a team that looks after all of them. Justin on top, the head coach, Charles Lagerfeld. And as a bowling coach, I call him Charlie. PT, and at least we should say he saved the 4. If you had passed him, you would have gone all the way to the boundary. You know, when you have those kind of you know, people around you, you know, the freshness of everyone. And that's Australia changing room. They're holding their bottom lips. Voucher, take that hand off. And these are the things that you know, we all probably talking about. You know, the sadness of losing against England and then come back losing the 2020, and all of a sudden things are changing. You know, you're winning the series, the last game. We all know that every single team that tours, doesn't matter where you tour, the last game, we always say that you have one foot on the plane and one foot on the ground. You know, I think Australia, they are on that verge as well.
For 3.
Impression है जमाना तो शॉट गोल लगाना. Clear shot goal. दियो हुआ पुराना शॉट गोल का जमाना.
The UEFA Euro 2020. Live on the Sony Sports Network.
England Tour of Sri Lanka. First test. Thursday, 19th March. 10 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 6.
Cloudless day, lovely blue sky. Yeah, warm already here in Potchefstroom. That's who's to come for Australia. When you play against them, it's Warner, Finch, Smith. Those are the 3 big wickets you want to get. And that's who's out. So South Africa, no doubt, will be happy at this point. So close. Went full, went for the Yorker, Dupavillon, and short didn't make contact, and is pretty lucky and happy, no doubt, that he didn't hear the death rattle behind him. Oh, so close. Seems a bit flat-footed, does Daryn Dupavillon. You always get a sense that he's working really hard when he bowls, and he does get it through. Sometimes in good rhythm, he'll get it through more than 140 k's an hour, but hovers around the high 130s and about 140.
We used to call that a heavy fit, because if you have someone that he actually doesn't run in his toes, almost running in his heels, that's a pretty example of it.
Yeah, look at his action. Kaya, tell me what you see, and a good comparison to go with Nortje, who's got a clean and sort of straight lines action.
For me, by far, you can see the difference. Nortje, look at his back foot, straight. Look at his dupa. He's absolutely facing to the stumps with his side on. That's what we call it, a mix side on and chest on. You know, some people, they have that. But one thing that I will tell you regarding of the mixture, when you're talking about the mixture of that, the two of them, these are kind of things that actually happen, because now all of a sudden, instead of having that back leg to drive the front foot so that the batsman can be able to go, a bowler to go over the front foot, now all of a sudden you've got so much. If you look at Dupa, the back leg, now all of a sudden when he needs that back leg to come all the way in front, he has to lean too much on the side.
Yeah, we can move this along and everyone will see exactly what you're talking about.
Freeze it right there. You can really look at that and look at the difference between the two of them. And then you can see the... Yeah. And you can see that as well. The head, it takes the whole full body away from where it's supposed to be. And then look at Nortje, straight leg, all of that. The power, it drives him through. But you look at Dupa is have a quick go off. When we're talking about the follow through, he goes quicker. He hasn't got that follow through right all the way down to the batsman.
Yeah, so forces going in the wrong direction or different directions. End of the over. It's 60 for 3.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League, 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
Make your team now only on My 11 Circle.
The UEFA Champions League, exclusively on the Sony Sports Network.
Here, look at Dupa. He's going to follow the head instead of going forward with the full body. That's a massive difference between the two of them.
Yeah, so look at his whole action, and essentially it's about trying to get over that front leg as quickly as you can. Now, when you have your back foot and front foot not quite in line, and you want your front foot to be probably just a little outside your back foot so that you can come through easily with your right hip, he has to go around. And the biomechanics of it just says you have to fall to the left in order to get through, the head going that way, and he's blocking himself off.
That could be the cause of his injury as well, or trying to avoid it. You know, it causes a lot of that. You know, but I think Langerfeld is watching as well. He's going to try and correct him and being able to force him to say, you need to change slightly with your back leg so you have the room of your hip to go forward. And then within that as well, Pomi, he will gain another 5, kilometers on top of his speed.
And he's already got decent pace, bowling around 140 just generally. Yeah, I agree with you. I think those injuries will be caused by that, and it's not so simple to change an action, but the alignment of those feet is particularly important. You just need to have clean lines. You need to ensure that there isn't any blocking in terms of one's action. You're not fighting yourself as you try and bowl. Yeah, so left-hand side, Anrich Nortje, just straight lines. There's nothing in the way of anything. That front leg does go across a little bit, but look where it lands. It lands in line with the back leg. And so it's okay. You can be there and maybe even a little bit to your left. With Dupavillon, the back leg hits the ground and the front leg hits on the right side of it. And so he's got to go around himself. And in doing that, he falls over to the left and can't quite get through the action. You might sit at home and say we're hypercritical. I'm making his debut. It's easier to see because we haven't seen him and analyzed him that much when he plays domestically. And there are always things to improve, of course. He'll be on cloud 9 at the moment, having taken a wicket, bowled decently, bowled well actually, gone at just 2.5 and over. A good first spell. This 4 overs, he'll probably continue, 5 or 6 to start off, whilst things are going really well. Look at that. He will never forget that. Daryn Dupavillon. He'll be ever grateful to David Miller. I'm sure they're great mates.
Hey, they're going to buy each other drinks.
And if they weren't, they will now be great mates. That's a beautiful shot. So well played, so easy. From Darcy short. Threaded the needle through the covers. 4 runs. It's 68 for 3.
Impression है जमाना, the short goal लगाना. Clear short goal. दियो हुआ पुराना short goal का है जमाना.
England tour of Sri Lanka, first test. Thursday, 19th March, 10 a.m. Live and exclusive on Sony 6.
Textbook. Yeah, 189. At the current rate, they need a partnership, a big one to Australia. The shot, though, from Darcy Short to finish off the over. Have a look at this. You really would like to see it over and over. Just looks a picture when it's the left-handers.
Look at that. Now from that, on its own, he really could be his signature. See Finch as well, clapping it. He knows that that's the best shot as we've seen this morning. Maharaj coming in.
Four overs, 1 for 10. You're happy starting off your career.
Ooh.
Yeah, Dupavillon's off, and in comes Keshav Maharaj, who's been impressive through the series. He's been great to watch. Just a really good control of length, particularly. And what's impressed me most is a control of the pace that he's delivered the ball at. He's toyed with the Australian batsmen. Even the best of them he's had kind of tentative in whether they'd get down the pitch to him, whether they can drive him through the offside or down the ground.
It's one of those things that I enjoy watching him. He challenges himself. He wants to bowl to the top order, to the best of the best. He doesn't want to be seen as almost like he just come in when the tailenders are in, can just pick up fifers. The more he bowls to the top order, the more he learns about his bowling as well, which is great.
He's lost his spin twin today. Bigger fish to fry for Tabrez Shamsi and Khadija. Congratulations. I know if he gets a chance, he'd be watching. I'm pretty sure Tabrez Shamsi will be watching. Baby in hand, probably. Yeah, congratulations to you and your wife and your family.
Well done, big guy. Wow, it's a baby boy, another spinner.
Good start by Maharaj, just 3 off it. It's 71 for 3.
Coming up on My 11 Circle.
It's time for Park T20 League, 20th Feb to 22nd March. Total prize pool, rupees 1 crore. First prize, rupees 25 lakhs.
At your team now only on My 11 Circle.
The UEFA Euro 2020. Live on the Sony Sports Network.
Good crowd in. Good in town, this Potchefstroom, and they'll come in. They'll get louder and louder, no doubt, as the day goes along. We've got a full house today, all sold out. It's been great, actually, the summer of cricket with regard to the fans and the stadiums being full. It just makes the game different. It just does.
Oh, yes, Pommy. Especially you bring big teams into the small cities. Everybody is excited. Australia, Potchefstroom, Australia in East London, Australia in Bloemfontein. Come on!
All those cities will be saying they're not small.
They've got big teams.
Top shot. That's another beauty. All balance. And really just such an ease with the way he plays it. It's a second shot that Darcy Short has played. One through the offside, this time on the onside. Looks so much better when it's the lefties.
When you bowl straight to them, you know you're going to pay. Outside of stump. Come on, Andile. Now, one thing that I've noticed as well, for me, if I could put it this way, Australia, they've been absolutely poor in their first 15 overs in this particular game, because I've seen how they, destroy the first 15 overs. Normally they got about 90 for either 1 wicket down. Today 76 in the 19th for 3 down. Is a saying that 1 foot on a plane and 1 foot still in South Africa.
Yeah, but I think you'd like to give more credit to the bowling than to say it's the failings of the Australians. They've bowled well, South Africa, and I guess what you get sometimes is you get those who've been sitting on the side, eager to get on the park and make sure that they can make an impact too. And with a few big guns rested, with a few ill and so forth, the likes of Sipamla get their chance.
Opportunity, yes. And then you look at the likes of Dupa getting his first wicket. Those are the things that when someone who's been good is being rested, and then you say, young fellas, this is the time for you to put your hand up and say, I'm here, pick me, and then it shows.
It certainly does. Yeah, just an opportunity to appreciate these 2 boundaries that Darcy Short has hit. Have a look on the left-hand side, it goes through the offside. Oh, such a flow, and on the right-hand side it goes through the onside. Both really balanced in the way that he played them, right off the middle of the bat. And initially you might have thought, too full from Andile Phehlukwayo. It wasn't too bad as deliveries. He's just played exquisite shots. Get a couple of 4s. Ouch! Oh, that hurts from up here. That's right in the rib. 77 for 3.
Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Israel Adesanya. He is as sophisticated a striker as we've ever seen inside the octagon. Who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna stop me? Yoel Romero, he is a real freak of nature.
My name is Lee. Remember me?
You want a young Jhye? That is a scary woman. This bad blood is about as real as it gets.
It has one of the greatest mornings from the bowling point of view. South Africa doing very well in the 20th over 78 runs on the board for 3 down. Any team that wins the toss and decide to bowl first, seeing what they have done. Langerveld, fantastic job.
Hunting for dots in the circle. Just wrong-footed that time, David Miller. Cover. There you go, there's another. Second dot. Look to try and dot him up. Yeah, if he can pick up 2 and make sure he doesn't go for a boundary, it's 4s in the over. There's another. And just create the pressure that way and hope that they try and do something and create a chance.
It's been beautiful, Maharaj. Last ball.
Yeah, and that to his field as well, making sure that he gets it down the ground, just give up the 1. 3 off the over, it's 80 for 3. If you're at the stadium, you can catch that. Sharks and the Jaguares on DSTV Now on your smartphone or your tablet. And you don't have to miss out on anything at all. You can catch up with any other cricket around the world too. Football, yeah, good shirt that, boss. Yeah, big one tomorrow, the Derby. Derby last week here in South Africa, which was packed. Here's Heinrich Klaasen to bowl some offies. Shouts of catch it, but it's in the gap. Tees all the way to the boundary. 4 runs. Yeah, nicely done. Lots of landing space over there with Quayleg up in the circle and nobody behind him. Just a deep mid-wicket in place. He knows he can go at that all day, and he'll go again, even though he's going against the turn. Oh, lucky. Klaasen could have planted that somewhere for 4 or 6. Tell you more about it. Victor Bitsang with Sean Paul.
Yeah, thanks, Pommy. This is full process that's been going on in the South African side for a few weeks. Klaasen's actually done this domestically. In many games he played for the Titans, he would have the gloves, and then after about 28 overs, he'd take them off and bowl a few overs of off-spin. Also with the Eye of India looming on the horizon for the South African side. They want to get his little off-spinners into the equation, see what he can do at this top level. The first 2 look like they're a little bit nervous. He's starting to settle in. Also, the over rate's been horrendous, to be totally honest. 12.5 to the over. They're well behind South Africa, so might also have entered the thought equation. think there's John Smuts they could have gone to. He gets through his overs pretty quickly, but I think because there's a left-hander at the crease, the thinking might have been to go to Klaasen.
Yeah, that's for me. You don't want to sort of allow this Australian to just settle. When you bowl a part-timer, you could go for 10, and maybe that's just the momentum that they need.
Oh!
A single to finish the over. 88 for 3.
चैप्टर 21 सीख लिया अब तू ये सीख इतना क्या कर रहा है बाप को मत सिखा हेलो
ए गैस की दुकान चल साइड हो
इंप्रेशन है जमाना तो शॉर्ट गोल्ड लगाना क्लियर शॉर्ट गोल्ड दियो हुआ पुराना शॉर्ट गोल्ड का है जमाना
The UEFA Euro 2020 live on the Sony Sports Network.
They've been good though.
Dupavillon will be happy with his start at international level. He's picked up a wicket already. It's always nice, settles you down. This morning with Verreynne, he was talking about how he grew up Klerksdorp, just 50 k's away from here, so often ventured to this ground to come and witness some provincial and international cricket. And would love absolutely nothing more than to be able to get a big score. He's also got the chance this time around because of the wickets that have fallen. Take his time. He's got 18 of 29. He can just settle in, and Australia needing to bat for a period of time. You know, too much batting to come in their order, so these guys almost have to set up stall until the 35th, 40th over before they really take a massive risk.
That's an area that they've struggled, I think, in the series, Polly, is that last 10 overs. In both games that they've really struggled, lost too many wickets, and you need somebody, especially one of these two, to make sure that they're there towards the end of the innings. Look about time that he has, and he likes to impose himself, doesn't he? He likes playing his shot, but a different role that he needs to play. Something maybe they spoke about. You heard Finch talking about going too hard too early in that middle period.
I'm sure it was part of the team talk before this match. Just thinking about 2, you won't get it. 3 runs from the over, 91 for 3.
These 6 superstars will step inside the elimination chamber. The last superstar standing faces Becky Lynch for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania.
Those 6 superstars in the ring at the same time, it will be combustible, I can assure you.
Becky Lynch is fixated on one other woman in this match.
I'm going to chew through every other competitor in that cage. I'll be watching closely and rooting for you.
Have a 0 for 8.
So I actually think the other option probably is if you think about when Shamsi plays, takes the ball away from the left hand, and maybe that's what they want. They want the offie to take the ball away from Arcy Shaw. Just the options, eh? That's options, but you still need to think wickets.
You do get an insight when you go down in the morning and have a chat with some of the guys out there, and Mark Belcher was talking about a sneaky plan that they're working on with Klaasen, getting him to spend a little more time in the nets. In fact, apparently at one of the practices he didn't bat at all, he just bowled off spin all day. So it's something they're searching for. They're trying to find maybe what, for example, J.P. Germany did for South Africa with his off spin over the years, trying to develop Klaasen, gain him some confidence. So a few overs here in Poch, and then in India maybe a few little spells. Gripping surfaces. Come on, Vic, don't look at me like that.
Does a wonderful job with the gloves. Heinrich Klaasen, spare keeper. A couple of keepers actually in this team. They've fielded very well. Verreynne, Heinrich, Klaasen, the two keepers, they've done well, haven't they, in the field? Nah, still go with John.
Oh, Klaasen! Always thought you thought out of the box a bit more than that, Vic. Yep. Go the stock standard. Something. There we have a look at it. 5 wickets. Best of 2 for 38. Not too bad an average. Economy under 6. That's something to work with, considering he is basically a wicketkeeper. Yes. That's flicked away nicely. They'll be thinking of 2 again. Side against it. Strong arm from the boundary there from Nortje. 24 done. 96 for 3.
Impression है जमाना तो शॉर्ट गोल लगाना लिए शॉर्ट गोल दियो हुआ पुराना शॉर्ट गोल का है जमाना
England tour of Sri Lanka first test Thursday 19th March 10 a.m. live and exclusive on Sony 6.
6.5 runs to the over. The game that they're going at 4 runs and over. You just need to continue. Continue putting them under pressure. The batsmen out in the middle need to feel that they need to do something different.
When you have a look at that Manhattan, you've got to just understand. Have a look at every second over. There's expensive overs there. Where does it start? The last over, big one, then small, big, small, the whole way through a trend, right through until about the 10th over. First 50. To go with you. I think there has been a change in the chat in the dressing room about how they need to approach things. Australia. It's always difficult when you've got new personnel and you say, well, let's change. They sometimes go off the scale. They go extra slow. Scoring rate of under 4 to the over. First power play. Power play of the season was 58 for 2, then 73 for 1, and now today only 38 for 1. There's Maharaj's lengths. The lengths have been good. He's mixed things up nicely. He's been consistent. 3 wickets down. It's almost like Australia aren't going to play any big rash shots. Change of field as we see Quinton picture. Marshalling his troops. Extra reinforcement to the leg side. The man from cover comes up into the circle. 25 done. 98 for 3. So a partnership of 43, Darcy short, fresh off a decent score in the last game in Bloemfontein. Marsh, Carey, the 2 Richardsons still to come. An edge involved, but that brings up the 100 for Australia, and there's confirmation.
Yeah, you spoke about those power plays, those first 10 overs for the South African side. Just shows you how an area that I thought the South Africans could actually get better. You think about the whole all the one-day games and the T20 games that they've played throughout the summer. as it's an area that I thought they could actually improve on. And this game, perfect. 38 for 1. The previous one, 73 for 1. Australian side got to a flyer with David Warner and Aaron Finch, top of the order.
It's nicely played. I've been thinking about coming back for a second. And I do. Once again, it's proving to be difficult to pick up boundaries for Australia at regular intervals. It's been a bit of a trend throughout this tour for them in the one-day format. Ball hitting the stumps, willing to contribute to another run. 104 for 3. Good.
Ronaldo! What a phenomenon he is! Griezmann is there to finish it off. Harry Kane for England. That's a stunning goal. Oh, blockbuster!
Europe's biggest sporting spectacle, the UEFA Euro 2020, starts 12th June live on Sony 10.2 and Sony 10.3.
ODI's highest scores, 69, 76 for Steve Smith.
You never really get the true story in a 3-match series, do you? I mean, Janneman Malan, Nortje, first ball in his first one-day international, and he's top of the scoring charts after 2 into the 3rd. None of the Australians have managed to find much form in this series so far. Brings up the 50 partnership between the two. Just the 3-4s, strike rate of 74. As I mentioned, the boundaries have been difficult to come by. Must have been impressed by the efforts of Keshav Maharaj, reintroduced into the squad at the start of the season. Has been good.
He's been very good. Probably the fact that he's come back, and normally you talk about players coming of a good domestic season. He was leading wicket taker at one stage, has played a huge role in getting some runs as well. And normally you sort of just look at how he's bowling now. Started with a test side, and now he's bowling with a lot of confidence. He's varying his pace. He's one thing that he's always done well, though, as a test bowler, as a left-arm spinner. As this is swept away, and that will race away for 4.
This is a brilliant shot, Labuschagne. We saw in the last game